Welcome in to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. The last top 10 list for the positional groups, top 10 centers this week. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket, instant office, Savage. Up here, we got my guy, the coach on the sidelines, taking them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what up?
Hey, what's happening, man? I'm still upset with insurance, but I'll digress for now and keep it pushing.
Also, here we got your favorite DJ's favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir, too. What up?
I am. What up, brother? What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Shout out to my Panthers getting that first dub.
Happy Man Day.
I just have to throw that in.
Got a Panthers win, a free meal. He living life right now.
Living life, bro.
Living life. So we had a lot going on this past week in the NBA. We had Bojan Bogdanovic got traded to the Pistons. Obviously a good move for Detroit. But the thing that damn near broke the internet was Ime Udoka's infidelity. I don't know what was going on with him. But he kind of just broke Twitter at 10 o'clock at night, like 2 days ago. Everybody was just about to go to bed, and they just came out with that news, threw everybody off. And of course, we don't know all the details. We got a little bit here and there, but we won't speak on it too much on this podcast, if at all, because I don't really know what's going on with it. But if you haven't already, go listen to LBR's most recent episode where these guys up here above my head, they and the other guys at LBR did a good job of just kind of discussing what the implications were. Somewhat speculation, I would say, but I mean, I feel like we don't even know the whole story right now. But still, something's going to continue to come out over time. But again, we're not talking about it much here. Go over to LBR and listen to it over there. I don't know if y'all had any comments about that y'all want to contribute real quick right now.
Yeah, at this point, like, please go listen to Let's Be Real podcast on all streaming platforms. But at this point, it's just publicity outcry gone wrong. You know, try to stop this before it got, because the Boston Celtics knew about this in July. Yeah. So they just trying to save face at this point. So it's just everything gone wrong at this point. So we still waiting for details. Savage, shout out to you for let's say just step back. But make sure y'all go check out that episode.
For sure. You know it. Yeah. Boston did a terrible job with just chaos control. It was just like, y'all get out ahead of this before the streets get to it, you know, because at some point TMZ gonna be like, hey, we know exactly what happened. We paid somebody to give us information, you know, all this, that, and the third. But we ain't here to speculate. We ain't here to gossip. We're here to get to the business of basketball. And first up, before we get into the top 10, ESPN came out with their own NBA rank of the NBA players, top 100 players. I told the guys this week, go through it and look and see what you thought about it. Me personally, I don't really care beyond the top 25 because that's what mattered the most to me. And we had a couple things that I'm sure will bother one of our co-hosts on this show, but we won't get into that just yet. I'm going to read the top 25 from 1 to 25. So, number 1, ladies and gentlemen, was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is considered the best player in he's the best player in the NBA based on ESPN standards. So, we had Giannis, excuse me, Giannis, Joker, Luka, Embiid, Steph, LeBron, Tatum, KD at number 8, John Morant at 9, Devin Booker, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Karl Anthony Towns, Dame Lillard, Paul George, Trae Young, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, Bradley Beal, AD, CP3, Jaylen Brown, Bam, Spider Mitchell, and Anthony Edwards. So from this top 25, what are y'all's thoughts? I'll let you go ahead, man. Go ahead and get your shine on.
So we're all college graduates, right? And we're familiar with teachers and mostly how their ways are. My point is, y'all know when you have that professor that before everybody leaves class, hey, make sure y'all read chapter 6, chapter 7 is going to be on a quiz, knowing damn well you're not going to have a quiz the next time you go to class. So it's pretty much like a waste of time. Essentially what I'm saying is anytime ES releasing anything is a waste of time. You gave us that homework, teacher, and I apologize. I didn't do the homework because I know we're not finna go over this damn test. I know we're not taking the test today. I know you full of shit. So whatever, it is what it is. Look, I understand, you know, we had a debate last week about Kevin Durant, Giannis, cool. You know, 1, 2, y'all made some very good points, and I agree with it for the most part. But outside the top 5, outside the top 5, y'all got Kevin Durant. Y'all got Kevin Durant and LeBron James out the top 5.
They said Tatum was better than Kevin Durant. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
You got Tatum outside. Like you got. My thing is, bro, I can't. And it's hard for me to know that Giannis is as great as he is because I don't want to take nothing. He's the most dominant player in our game. I don't want to take nothing away from him. But he's still learning the game of basketball, which is scary. But I can't say that the best player in the game right now is still learning basketball. I can't. If you put Giannis in KD's body, how many points Giannis averaging? If you put KD in Giannis' body, oh, he's the best player probably to ever play the game, hands down. So I just can't do it. And like I said, respect Giannis to the fullest, but I can't give him the best title. I can't give him the number 1 player in the game with me. That's just something I can't do right now as a basketball fan.
A few standpoints that I forgot about one of these standpoints until Savage. Thank you so much for going through that order. I want to publicly say that I want to slap the crap out of the Minnesota Timberwolves for giving such a high value to Rudy Gobert to the point where he is a top 20 player, according to ESPN. I believe, 16 or 17?
18.
18?
Yep.
By God, no. I don't remember the Jazz running any offensive sets that went through Rudy Gobert. I do not remember Rudy Gobert being on the floor at the end of the game in a fourth quarter situation like I remember every other player before him and many of the players after him. That's one. My other thing I have to say about this is I'm going to talk about the top 5. I'm not going to discuss Kevin Durant. Tuca's done a great job with saying why he is or is not the king of his actual position or player in the league. What I am going to say is, of those top 5 players, look at who they are. You have at 1, Giannis. 2 was Luka, I believe. 3 was, help me out, Savage.
It was Giannis, Joker, Luka, Embiid, Steph.
Of those players, international versus domestic.
4 out of 5 are international.
International versus domestic. And it's Steph Curry, who was number 5, is the only player on that list that's not considered an international player. To me, it goes to the work ethic of international players. Giannis build when he first came in the league to now, to your point too, he's forever growing. He's still ascending, right?
Even Joker was fat when he got in the league. Now he slimmed down.
He slimmed down, right? It's the work ethic that these international players are legitimately putting in. Joel Embiid, even though he's been second in MVP rate voting, I think, the last 2 years, right? But he's hungry. He was not shooting threes like that at Kansas, right? He's developed more of an offensive set for himself. And so, like, these players, Luka's been balling since he was 15. Probably played against Kobe. He's played against other international players at a very high level. And I believe the difference between international and domestic is because international players don't have that feeling to me of I've made it, I've achieved, I'm done. Where sometimes we as Americans feel like, oh yeah, I made it to the NBA, I'm good. Like I don't need to really work on anything else. Or maybe I need to pattern my game after someone else. None of those players really pattern themselves after anyone. Giannis is not play his game after someone else. It's Giannis's game. You know Giannis is going to come down the floor at the 3-point line, give you a 1 Euro step to the free throw, another Euro step into the paint, and he's going to dunk. Joker can play back to the rim however he wants to play, can even lead the league in assists if he probably wanted to be honest. Joel Embiid as well. And so, like, wait, who am I missing? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Giannis, Joker, Luka, Embiid, Steph. Steph is the 5th one.
Steph is 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Steph Curry's work ethic is phenomenal. Let me not discredit him because that man went from his shooting now that he doesn't count any shot that goes in unless it hits all net during practice. So for y'all that want to be younger players that are trying to aspire to be Steph Curry, until you doing that in practice, don't worry about the rest, my guy. So to me, I think that it's showing that the league is definitely trending towards international players being more dominant, so to speak. Not even at their position, but overall talent-wise. And I mean, at the end of the day, LeBron is still LeBron, Kawhi is still Kawhi, and others. But I mean, these international players are here, and they're sometimes, if not more times than not, more hungrier than others. Luka just came from dragging his team to the Western Conference Finals and naming his second best player. You can't, unless you're gonna say Jalen Brunson.
I think Sheedy froze on this, but
Cut 'em out.
but yeah. So the top 5 is comprised of 4 out of 5 guys being international players. We'll actually pause right here whenever we can get Sheedy back because he's looking kind of weird right now.
Yay!
All right, so honorable mention for me goes to a player that may not have the stats as Wendell Carter will have, or many of these other players that I have above this player for honorable mention. I have 2 players for honorable mention. But this is a player that you want on your team, and I don't believe has missed the playoffs in, I don't know, 16 seasons, so to speak, and that's Al Horford. Al Horford played some exceptional defense when needed to be, timely rebounds, timely assists. Again, he's the lowest point total, everything that I'm going to give you today about it in regards to the other centers, but an influential piece that I believe helped transcend the Celtics. Now, to me, I don't really think he's really a center. It's more like a power forward, so to speak. But you can thank ESPN for putting him as center. Another center that I have, who may be on y'all's top 10 list, but is going to be an honorable mention for me, and I'll explain later on why, is going to be the Fro himself, Jared Allen. Jared Allen last season was 16-11, which is phenomenal stats. And after he getting traded, he saw a boost of 5 points per game when he came from the Nets to the Cavs. I just believe there might be more of an ascension coming very soon of another player. However, Jared Allen, to me, the Cavs were a Jared Allen play away from making the playoffs this last season. However, didn't happen due to injury. But I look forward to him dominating. Still, maybe not giving you 16 a game. Maybe cut that down a little bit more. And maybe even his rebounds to just overall play. But give me Jared Allen and Al Horford for my honorable mentions.
So for my honorable mention, I think it's about to start getting a little heaty, but for me, it's when I think of a center, and this went into me ranking the traditional center, even as old as the NBA is to score inside the paint traditionally offensively, but no matter what defensively, hold the paint down. Don't allow easy buckets, get some blocks, you know what I'm saying, foul it to whatever, protect this paint defensively. That's my mindset for forever for a center. So that kind of went into me grading, my top 10. So for honorable mention, I had to start off, please don't hate me, but I'm going with the Gucci Mane. He's one of the, even though he give you a block a game, it kind of number out as well when I think about my top 10 centers who are better offensively, better defensively. But this ain't no disrespect to Vooch. I definitely wanted to shout him out. 17 and 11, in a block a game ain't no slouch. But, for forever, team success will count into my team rankings as well. And don't have the Bulls in the playoffs as well. So he fell out of mine. But I just wanted to stay on this podcast. We're talking about centers. I know this may be 2-3 years down the line, but James Wiseman, if we're talking about a center, James Wiseman been one of my favorite centers since he was, here in Memphis.
Might be this year. He's playing 5-on-5 right now in training camp. So
James Wiseman will be ready for regular season, and it's time for him to step up. It's time for him to finally start playing and show the talent that he has. Because there are a lot of people, a lot of quote-unquote analysts, a lot of fans who really don't know the James Wiseman that I don't, that know the James Wiseman we all know that can do anything on the court offensively. That can do anything on the court defensively. Once he puts it together, I believe he's going to be easily a top 5 center in his NBA probably 3 years from now. But I just want to stay on this podcast and make sure we recognize the young homie from Tennessee, James Wiseman, who's also a fellow Golden State Warrior. So, I mean, that works too. He'll be getting a
Of
ring.
course.
So, that helps too.
You probably should have mentioned Kevon Looney as an honorable mention because the way that he got them rebounds in the playoffs was pretty damn good. But
It was amazing. Amazing.
I don't have Gucci Mane anywhere near my list. I just don't. I'm good on that. So I'll get into my 10 through 6 actually. So number 10, if you follow me for any amount of time, you know how I feel about number 10, DeAndre Ayton. I just don't feel it with DeAndre Ayton. You said what too?
That low.
Yeah, yeah. And here's why. I feel like for Phoenix, he's just your average big man, and I don't know why they paid him a max contract because I feel like you can get his production from anybody else. And I've said that before in the past. When JaVale McGee needed to play for Phoenix, the team still played well. They had like the best record in the NBA. The big stat that for me that stood out the most with Ayton, he only had 0.7 blocks per game. What that means is that he had a game where he did not get blocks several times. And you 7 feet tall, man. Like you can get a block standing under the rim with your hands up in the air. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, he's okay. Like he's not like special in my opinion, not enough to get a max contract. Another thing stood out for me, game 7 against the Mavericks, when the Suns beat their ass. I mean, the Mavericks beat their ass. He played a grand total of 17 minutes. For as much as we talk about Rudy Gobert and him getting played off the court, DeAndre Ayton got played off the court in game 7 at home with a superior team, in my opinion. Luka just went crazy. He had 5 points, 2 for 5 from the field, 4 rebounds, 0 blocks, minus 17. He's Rudy Gobert without the defense. Like literally without the defense. He can't play defense. So I got Ayton at 10. I know people are going to get on me for that, but Ayton's at 10. Number 9. Excuse me. DeAndre Ayton talk, man. It's killing me. Number 9, I got Jared Allen. He's as good as he going to get. He's like JaVale McGee. He will keep a job in the NBA, I feel like, because he can rebound, he can block shots, he can catch lobs. That's as easy as that. Like Sheedy mentioned, there's a better player in Cleveland that's on the rise right now who may or may not be a center, but he's 7 feet tall, the other guy. But I got Jared Allen at number 9. Number 8, this is where I get Miles Turner. He's one of the best shot blockers in the game. He can shoot, he can score. They talked about trading him. If I'm him, I would stick around with Tyrese Halliburton. And just with that team overall, it's a young team, but he might say, hey, I want to go to a competitor, which I'm okay with, but I think that he should stick around and continue to be one of the integral pieces for the Pacers. Number 7 is where I have Evan Mobley. I don't think his stats will improve dramatically this year with them getting Spider, but I think the eye test will be even greater. It was good last year, but I think it'll be better more so this year. He was a rookie that received all defensive team votes. That's all I need to know about Evan Mobley. The offense will come, but he plays defense. And then number 6, I have Christian Wood, 18 points, 10 rebounds, shooting 40% from 3. And I don't know if y'all know Christian Wood's teammate, Luka Doncic, but that man will find you in the corner and on the wing. Christian Wood rebounds, gets blocks. I think the rebounds will go down this year because Luka gets rebounds, but I think that overall the efficiency will be great. And Christian Wood is a dog. Luka is a dog. And if you listen to this podcast from episode 1, I had the Mavericks as a sneaky final team. So give me Christian Wood at 6. So again, to recap, Ayton at 10, Allen at 9, Turner at 8, Mobley at 7, Christian Wood at 6.
Ooh, I think this may become our most diverse list that we've had because I don't believe that we're going to have like typically we have like the same players within our top. Well, after the 2-3, right? Typically the same players in the last 7. Just switch in whatever order we perceive them to be. However, this one a lot different. And so I'll start with number 10. And to me, it's Evan Mobley. Jared Allen is honorable mention. Evan Mobley, I believe, is ready for the ascension. I believe, 15, 8, and 3, nothing to sneeze at.
I think with getting spotted is going to help. I think they're going to go more of a small ball line. To your point, Savage, Jared Allen is always going to have a job. But I believe Evan Mobley is going to learn to play defense just a little bit better as well. And I just believe that he's going to see more time on the court. Yes, I get it. There's only one ball, but I mean, if he is your big on the floor and they go to a very small ball lineup, so to speak, he's going to find a way to score. He's been finding ways to score since I've been watching him in college, and I don't see that really being a thing. So give me Evan Mobley at 10. At 9, oh, golly. Here we go. Rudy Gobert at 9. I cannot discredit 16-1 at all. Those were his stats from last season. I can discredit 5 picks for him, yes. But again, 16, 5, and 1, I can't go against that. Of course, I believe his rebounds will go down. I mean, I think his even point total will go down this upcoming season. I think a few things will go down. However, he is still a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, last time I checked. He is still a rim protector, and he will show his value at 9 at some point or fashion with these Minnesota Timberwolves who have stunk up the league with those 5 draft picks for him. Number 8. Again, if I believe this team to go to the playoffs, then I got to believe in who they got at center, and that's Jonas Valanciunas at 8. He was 18, 11, and 3 last season. And that may go up with Zion. I think Zion plays good with another big with him. Jonas is not going to sprace the floor, so to speak, but I believe that he is an integral part for the Pelicans. His value is there. He did a great job when he was with the Grizzlies. He's all, again, you're talking about someone that will find a job. I don't think Valanciunas will never be without a job until he says he's done. And so to me, give me number 8, especially with his veteran presence and leadership. And just help CJ McCollum sign a great deal, by the way, for an extension for New Orleans. Number 7, I have here a player that's already been mentioned, Nikola Vucevic. I agree. Defensively, he's not going to be much to sneeze at, but they're also waiting for whatever the power forward is to really come back and play some defense for them. Pat Williams, thank you. I almost said Pat McCaffrey, but Pat Williams to come back and play some better defense. I think that helps space the floor in terms of Vucci. Vucci dominated. You talked about the Magic earlier. The Magic did not exist without Vucci. And so footwork, his presence, again, 18, 11, and 3. But the bad part is his production did go down once he got traded from the Magic to Chicago, which could be seen, right? You're the number 1 option in Orlando. You come to Chicago, you're like the 2-3 option. But, if you want these Bulls in the playoffs, Savage, you're going to have to get some from Vucci. So he may be high, yes. I'm not, but I got him at 7 for now. And number 6, I actually agree right there. Christian Wood, with a Rockets team that was struggling to still find an identity for themselves, will still give you 18, 10, and 2 with the Rockets. You also mentioned how, as he got traded to the Mavericks, what that did for other players. If we forget that KP averaged 20 and 9 with the Mavs with Luka, and I believe Christian Wood can do and be better than that 20 and 9 stat that KP was giving you. He probably can give you about 22, 23 at least. And I think he can still hold down the rebounding spot because he is physically and looking more aggressive to get rebounds and play defense as opposed to a KP, especially in this system of the Mavericks. So again, number 10, Evan Mobley. Number 9, Rudy Trobert. I got Valanciunas at 8, Nikola at 7, and Christian Wood at 6.
Sheedy, you say that we may have a diverse list when I was kind of a little kind of the same. So I think for one, first and foremost, your point about Vooch is spot on, but his efficiency relies on pick and roll offense, meaning that he was the best center in pick and rolls, right?
He need Lonzo with him. He gotta have Lonzo with him.
He's Lonzo. That's my point. If you don't have Lonzo on the court, that means your numbers gonna drop. So I get what you're saying on that. But Number 10, Evan Mobley, like you said, for everything. It was really between him and it's Jared Allen for me. They both kind of, you know, they kind of balance each other out in a way because Evan's a little bit more better offensively, but Jared's a little bit more better defensively. But if Evan can get a little bit better defensively, I mean, he got his game is there. You know what I'm saying? The second year, Evan Mobley, I love to see what he's gonna do. So he'll be in my top 10. Number 9, everything you said about Gobert. He's the best, literally the best in the NBA, what he does as far as defending, blocking shots, rebounding, doing whatever. Of course, you can't run deep offense to him, but with a team that got Ant-Man, D'Angelo Russell, and Cat, you don't need to score. Just hold down the paint and let us do everything else. And he's going to do that, and the Timberwolves going to be a top 4 team, like I've been saying, blah, blah, blah. Number 8, just because I love what he does offensively, he's missed the consistency in my eyes. Been calling him there for 3-4 years now, and it's Jonas Valanciunas. For the Pelicans, of course, got them in the playoffs as well. But just what he's able to do in the paint, outside the paint, you know, the Grizz were lacking a couple years ago. We can easily say, all right, Jonas, go get us a buck, and he literally go do that. And so I still got big respect. Missed consistency. Jonas Valanciunas is number 8. Number 7, this one we kind of defer. So number 7, I got Porzingis. Porzingis could be higher, but it's injuries. When are we gonna see a healthy Porzingis? Are we ever gonna see a healthy Porzingis? But if he stays healthy, that's 20 to 20 a night offensively, 12 plus boards a game. He gonna get you a good block or two. Like, he's the unicorn. Like, he's given that name for a reason. So the thing is just his health. He's in a better situation with the Wizards, and he got the potential to, you know, continue to average, like I said, 20, 22 a game. 12 boys, and, you know, continue to hold the paint down. Number 6, and number 6 could be higher, but for everything you said, Savage, Ayton, he can easily be higher next year. He can easily be lower this year, but he just got paid. That's what ain't been lower. So it's time for him to produce. You know what I'm saying? Jay Crowder's not going to be there, so you're going to be losing a little attitude in that locker room. This is what the Suns are paying you for, buddy. This is time for you. It's time for you to step up. It's time for you it's time for Savage to stop saying you're not a top 5 talent, because you could be. A few years ago, you were the number 1 pick. It's time to shut people like him up. But if you're not going to do it, then you won't be in my top 5, you know, next year either. But you'll be in my top, you know, bottom 5 this year. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be it. So that's my bottom 5. Again, number 10, Evan Mobley. 9, Gobert. 8, Valanciunas. 7, Porzingis, and 6, Ayton.
Hey, I got two comments. One, with Porzingis, man, Porzingis' numbers are like, yes, please give me those numbers. But like, the biggest numbers were like, he played 17 games last year. But I also think Washington was like, hey, everybody just shut down. We just gonna not play. And then the year before that in Dallas, he played 34 games, which again, not enough. The year before that again, 43 games, again, not enough. But I want to put KP on my top 10. It's just that he don't play enough games. It's kind of like Lonzo. I want Lonzo on my top 10, but he don't play enough games. But I think if KP just plays basketball this year, he can be easily a top 10. He can be top 6.
I just feel optimistic. For some reason, I just feel optimistic about the Wizards in general.
I do too. I do too. I feel like it's time.
60 games. You give us 60. Give us 60 games and we good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 55, like we good.
Mm-hmm. And my second comment was about Ayton / Jared Allen. I am willing to bet the Suns would easily take Jared Allen right now with Chris Paul right now. We'll take him
yesterday.
We'll take him right now. The lobs that freaking Chris Paul would give, and then the pick and roll with Devin Booker. Oh yeah, easily. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. So let's get into the top 5. So I'll start us off. Rudy Gobert at 5. It pained me to put him there because, like, I don't feel like he's good enough to be top 5, especially in the playoffs, because the playoffs come and he is not on the court, and I'm just like, where are you? But I can't knock a 3-time DPOY. He's a regular season winner. Like, he's gonna win you games in the regular season when it's a 1-game matchup. That's what he does. Can he stay on the court? My biggest, I won't say a problem, but my concern with Minnesota is, how does it look for for 5, 6, 7 games in a row against the same team where we can exploit the matchup because we know that Gobert can't defend on the perimeter and Cat can't defend at all. So it's like, what does it look like on the court? If Gobert's not playing, Cat's on the court by himself, and we saw what happened last year against Ja Morant. Ja Morant scored 40, 50 points at ease. And if Gobert is on the court, I'm gonna pick and pop you with Jaren Jackson Jr. or whoever else has a shooter in Luka, whoever, Christian Wood, whatever. So I got him at 5 for now, but he might move down at some point. So Gobert's at 5.
I'm sorry. Just imagine. Of course, Gobert being out on the perimeter, but then having to face Cat as soon as you get bound. That's scary.
For who?
For anybody that's playing basketball offensively.
I ain't scared.
I think you might rather be. I'd rather be scared of if
Gobert at the
Cat. Cat meet me at the 3-point line. I shake him, and then I got me. Then I mean, rude. That's scary.
They both tall as big as hell.
I mean, they ain't stop John Morant. So,
and I don't remember Karl Towns winning any defensive anything.
Heck no. All I remember is 3-point shootout. That's all I remember from Cat.
Yes, sir. So he's about to be your number 4. Go ahead.
He might. So Gobert, actually not. My number 4 is Bam Adebayo, only because I had Bam at 3 at first, but then I was like, I have to see Bam be aggressive. The fact that Bam had, I believe, a career high in points per game, like 18, 19 points per game, and he wasn't even aggressive, is like, bruh, if you aggressive, you can put up 24 if you want to. I saw a dip, I think, in rebounds and assists. I think the offense, maybe you can vouch for this. I don't know. I think the offense works best when it goes through Bam, whether that's him getting it at the high post or at the top 3-point line and making decisions, going to the basket, whatever it needs to be done. I gotta see it this year. I need to see it from. He can do it. He literally can do it, but he just last year was kind of weird for me. With the Miami Heat in general was weird. So Bam at 4. Number 3, I had Cat. Cat's points. I mean, he can score with the best of them, and I feel like that's gonna matter a lot more with Rudy Gobert. I think Cat could mess around and get to 1 or 2, depending on how the year goes. I don't say 1, I say 2. He can get to 2, depending on how the year goes. But I gotta see it first. I gotta see if I give him that acknowledgement. Best shooting big man in the game, bar none. We're gonna see the offense be different this year. It's gonna be fascinating, definitely, because I don't know what they're gonna do on offense. It's tall as hell on the court. Number 2, I mean, Joel Embiid, 30, 12, and 4, MVP candidate. No excuses this year, Embiid. Ben Simmons ain't there. I don't want to hear nothing about Ben Simmons no more. Ben came out and talked on the podcast with JJ Redick. Didn't slander him. Is squashed. Now you got James Harden fully healthy offseason. Embiid, like, hey man, like, you do all this talking. I haven't seen Eastern Conference Finals. I ain't seen the NBA Finals. I'm like, hey, hello. So Embiid's at 2, number 1, Joker. I ain't got nothing to say. It's Nikola Jokic, best big man in the game. I think he has a legitimate chance to be a 3-peat MVP. And I say that because they were 6th last year in terms of like ranking, and he won. If the whole team comes back and they win more games, you have to give it to him. Like, literally, his plus minus last year, he led all centers in plus minus. Plus 442 on the court. In the league, he was 8th in the league. And again, the Nuggets had the 6th seed in the West. He was 8th in the NBA in plus minus. The 7 players ahead of him, y'all, were 3 members of the Phoenix Suns, 3 members of the Boston Celtics, and Wardell Steph Curry. That lets you know Nikola Jokic is the best center in the NBA, and I don't want to hear nothing else about Joel Embiid over Nikola Jokic. The floor is yours, gentlemen. But I'll do my top 5 again. Gobert, Adebayo, Cat, Embiid, Joker.
Yep. So, it's interesting because I know there's going to be a decent dialogue after all of us go through our top 5.
Don't do it, Sheedy. Do not do it. Do not do it, Sheedy. Do not do it.
I'm a tiebreaker. I'm the tiebreaker this time. It's what it sounded like.
It's going to be a very decent dialogue, and I look forward to it. I hope I got enough phone battery and I got enough light. But anyways, number 5, Number 5, I actually have the unicorn at number 5 with the Wizards. I think you're talking about Bradley Beal was on our list. I had Kyle Kuzma. I think we all kind of formally agreed that Kyle Kuzma can be like an honorable mention depending upon his ascension, so to speak, as well. KP 22-9-3. Savage, you mentioned 17 games last year. Again, I think to your point, the Wizards was like, hey, listen, we're not going to the playoffs, not going to the play-in. Everybody just chill. Bradley Beal ain't coming back. Ain't nobody saving us. And even the season before that, even before he was traded, I think they were also just shutting him down to prevent injury as well, because again, his value goes down if he's injured. That is one of his biggest, I don't want to say perks, but one of his biggest bad things about him. And most of these other players on this list is injuries and injury prone. But when the unicorn wants to play, he's getting a full beard in, no patches or nothing like that. And so maybe he's going to play better. I'm looking for him to play better. I'm looking for the Wizards to be in the playoffs. And so I have him at 5. Again, 22-9-3 is nothing to sneeze at. And I believe he will at least, if not keep those numbers dip very slightly, but I think he's still going to give you at least 20 a game. And he is a viable part of the offense that you can, possibly run it through. Number 4, I got Karl Anthony Towns. You've already mentioned his stats, maybe not, but 25, 10, and 4 last season. Again, those can be dipping down in regards to rebounds for sure. He's the best shooting big man because he won a 3-point contest, I guess, as analysts would say. But, Karl Anthony Towns has always had it offensively. I think also there's a lot of mental things going on with him that maybe last season helped him get past. Like he was dealing a lot with COVID and the things that dealt with COVID in terms of deaths and his family and stuff like that. And I feel like he may or may not left that on the floor after last season because I believe also the Timberwolves kind of gave up on themselves with their hiring of not hiring coach, but who their coach is. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns will get any better than where he's at unless he improves on defense. His offense is there. He can score at many different places, clearly on the 3-point line and on in, but he's going to have to increase a little bit more defensively. Again, if I'm looking at this team, I'm more scared to go against Rudy Gobert than Rudy, what I want to call him, Trollberg, as opposed to Karl Anthony Towns. Give me Karl Anthony Towns in the paint all day, and I would rather do that. But again, offensively, you can run your whole offense through a Karl Anthony Towns. And speaking of running through your offense, number 3, I have Bam. I have Bam there, and I hear you. Numbers went down as well, but he also suffered an injury within his, shooting hand, a shooting arm, so to speak. I don't think, again, back to mentally, I don't think mentally he was there to take it and be aggressive. I agree. When he gets that ball right there, right about a step or two inside the 3-point line and runs either a pick and roll or finds someone that's open, that is where we are better at. And even his pick and roll times with Kyle Lowry, who also missed a significant amount of time last season, that's when he really shined as well. And he kind of became more of a shell of himself when we needed him. We need to see him more consistent, but I think he's hungry. The way he plays defense, the way he can, the way he can score is awesome, but he doesn't want to score is the issue. And so if he can find that, will be tremendous and awesome. So I guess it's down to the top 2, right? Do you put 30 and 12 above 27 and 14, or do you put that below? Because Joel just won the scoring title, ladies and gentlemen. Let us not forget, the first big man to win the scoring title since Shaquille O'Neal, the first big man to average over 30 points a game since Moses Malone in the 80s. And ladies and gentlemen, he will still remain at number 2, Joel Embiid, until he can play a season more than 65 games. I got to keep him there. So it's about injuries for me. He has a lot to prove, and I hope that because he does not want to prove so much to everyone, that he doesn't hurt himself again. But again, I went through, past 6 seasons, only 1 season has he played more than 65 games, as opposed to the current reigning, defending, 2-time, possibly looking for that 3-peat like Larry Bird.
Brock Lesnar.
I was building it up there. Joker, 27 and 14. Excuse me, sir. When you talked about a center, it's not what we want to score and get rebounds. Of his 7 seasons, he's never played less than 72 games. So he's missed no more than 10 games per season. And I think also he had the most double teams when he's in the post, but still giving you 27, 14. And I don't know how many assists, but he could at any point, 8 assists. My God, he almost averaged triple double. And he's what, 7'1", and slimming down. So
I give him 6'11", actually. He's short.
6'11". Wow. So again, that the Joker proves his worth not only to his team, but to the entire country for them giving him MVP twice, back-to-back seasons. And I agree with Savage. If this team becomes, I don't know, a second or third seed in the West, or even just a second or third seed overall, like in the whole rankings of everyone, you look at this player, Joker, as the next person to three-peat in regards to that. So again, KP at 5, Cat at 4, Bam at 3, Joel at 2, and the Joker, not little Joker, not baby Joker, but big Joker at number 1.
Yeah, we definitely finna be debating. So for number 5, I got Bam. And honestly, I kind of just changed it, so I'll be honest about it. And the reason is because I actually just looked up some numbers. A player that I consider Bam to be would be Amari Stoudemire, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. That's outside of dunking on you, Bam's gonna put the ball in the hole, so the numbers are there regardless. But Amari Stoudemire has averaged 20 points a game 7 times his career. Bam is yet to do so. So what I'm saying is, you say he wasn't there. Y'all saying the numbers dropped when really Bam averaged his career highs in points and rebounds last year.
No, I said he had like 19 points a game, I think, for the season.
Huh?
I said that's what I said. He averaged 19 points a game, was a career high.
That's his career
but
high.
It still felt like he didn't he wasn't still. He could be more aggressive, like
better, right?
24, yeah.
And that's what I want. If Bam could be more aggressive, cool. We can be top 4, top whatever. You know what I'm saying? But right now, just top 5. I would love to see a more aggressive Bam because he can do a lot more. He's 6'8", 6'9". He can do a lot more, and he can be playmaking. He can do just a lot more. That's what I'm trying to say, which would make the Heat a much better team. So number 4, I would have Christian Wood. Christian Wood, I'm a huge fan of Christian Wood. Been one since day one, essentially. Average was his 18 points a game last year, 10 rebounds and a block a game, 39% from 3, which probably will go higher playing with Luka Doncic. But my thing is with Christian Wood, the offensive game it's getting there. And once it's shaped up, we could be looking at an all-star Christian Wood. That'll make him, you want to talk about American centers, that'll make him the best American center in the NBA to me. Like he's that guy to me. You know what I'm saying? His attitude is better. We hear nothing about him last season. Like you playing with Luka Doncic. What you got to get mad about now? Just go ahead and ball the hell out. Go ahead and average 24, 25 a game playing with Luka. Make sure you still keep your rebounds up. Get that block a game. You're gonna be straight. I mean, like I said, and the world should be out watching for Christian Wood for sure. Number 3, ironically, is the best shooting man from 3, Cat. I was somebody who did say that he was going to win the 3-point contest because I know that he's going to shoot the hell out of the ball. That is why the trade for Rudy Gobert made so much sense to me because he's going to be outside the paint. Let him do what he does. But, before this podcast, I also had him as the number 1 option on this team, which is yet to be true. But with us saying, that Ant-Man may be taking a bigger step forward, which I hope will happen, that'll only help Cat in his game as well. So we can be talking about how Cat could be, like y'all said, number 2, number 1 by season end. But right now, he's number 3. So I'm gonna just rip the Band-Aid off like I normally do. Of course, I'm always the other side person. But y'all, you can ignore everything you just said about Embiid, Sheedy. You can put up all the numbers. The first big man to do this, to do that. I mean, Embiid only played less, 5, 6 games less than Joker. And I get how much the Joker means to his offense. I get it. But you also talking to me, if I'm going to be consistent in this podcast, I do not have the Nuggets in the playoffs. I don't. With that being said, Joker, the Sixers are going to have a higher seed. I'm going to be consistent in what I do. That's always going to be me. You can have the palm on your head all you want, and it's crazy I know what the Joker means to his team. Joker is that guy. But defensively, Embiid is better. Embiid is still averaging 30 points a game. If he could be healthier, like, come on, he just got his scoring title. He just got a scoring title as a big man. Like, that hadn't been done in a very long time. That is what I want from a center.
I'm sorry, just real quick. Can you we're gonna rewind just a little bit. You said he was that Joel Embiid is better defensively, right?
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, continue.
Yeah, he's better defensively. And like I said at the beginning of my whole top 10, defense matter. That is what I want from a center. You give me a center that can do what I want from you inside the paint defending, and you give me 30 points a game inside and out, what everybody want from a big now? Come on, dog. Come on, dog. The only thing that's stopping Embiid from winning MVP is his health. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they play,
I'll correct you. I'll correct you.
They played the same amount of. Let me ask you this, Sheedy, because I got you on the fence. If they played the same amount of games, who would be your MVP?
The word is valuable, and it's still a Joker.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you got he's got to finish this list. Got to finish this list.
No. He said correct me if I'm wrong. The thing holding up Embiid is his coach. That's the real answer. That's the real answer. Embiid, if you give Embiid somebody else, Becky Hammond, come on down. But Glenn Rivers?
No, for real. Yeah.
No, Glenn Rivers.
The reason I'm like this is because, like, I mean, I guess I stand kind of corrected, semi-corrected. Like you right on Doc. Y'all put me on Doc a while ago. I'm not going to. You are 100% right. But still, Embiid is still able to do what he does with Doc. Still, I mean, it kind of makes my point. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. That's absolutely fair too. I give you that. That's fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, and I'm not taking away nothing from Joker. 2-time MVP earned. But that's my thing. Is like, okay, Embiid can't stay healthy, sure, but the talent is inevitably.
I actually think Embiid has been relatively healthy compared to early in his career. I'm fine with his health, honestly. Like he's played in the playoffs. He hasn't missed too many playoff games from what I can remember. I'm fine with his health, honestly. Low management, 65 games, that's cool with me.
Yeah, he plays more. He plays even like hurt in the playoffs as well too. Like you're not going to sit him down. That man wants to play basketball. I don't think that's a disagreement there, but I'll let Tuke finish. And I know we got Q&A and debates.
That's it. So I can just finish it off. Like I said, number 5 was Bam. Number 4, Christian Wood. Number 3, Cat. Number 2, Joker, Lil Joker, Baby Joker, and number 1, Embiid.
I can't in good faith put Joel Embiid over Joker.
It's kind of like y'all having Giannis and me having KD.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because you said that Joel Embiid plays defense, right?
Oh, Lord.
And that's why, and still was giving you about 30 points, right? Is that not Giannis? Is Giannis not Defensive Player of the Year? Is Giannis not a player that's giving you about 30 a night?
It's Giannis, but like I said on the last podcast, Giannis is still learning basketball. Is what if y'all don't understand me perfectly, go watch how Gilbert Arenas assesses Giannis. He's still learning. He's still getting there. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant mastered the game of basketball in my eyes.
Nikola Jokic has mastered the game of basketball too.
And so is Embiid.
More so than Jokic though.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. In my theory of the Nuggets not making the playoffs coming, we're going to be looking back a year from now like, damn.
Man.
But I could be 100% wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it fun. But, like, come on. The traditional center for me, plus it's Shaq numbers. The numbers are if Shaq could shoot a little bit. That's what the numbers are saying for Embiid. And that's what people that want analysts, whatever. That's what the numbers are saying. And I can't deny that. Being number 1. Like, I know what you're saying, the assist, whatever, Jokic being a playmaker, the Nuggets have done a great job of getting that European ball style to Jokic, which benefits him. It's been awesome. But traditionally still, I'm rolling with Joel. You asked me to create a 2K player, I'm making Joel Embiid instead of Joker.
I respect it. Go ahead, Savage. Before I say mine.
No. Go ahead, Chief.
No, because I'm not debating this. Whoever is the bigger J here. Yeah, I'm not debating who's the bigger J.
So my question to you, well, I guess I want to confirm. You're basically putting Joker below Embiid because you think that the Nuggets won't make the playoffs.
That, and I think just all down and what I consider, like I told you, the traditional center for me holding the paint down and doing 30 points a game. That's number one for me. And the fact that they're not going to make the playoffs.
So I guess my I'm trying to make sense of it.
I understand.
So they won 48 games last year without their two other best players. We saw what's the guy's name? Bones Highland improve as a player. You're getting Jamal Murray back. You're getting Michael Porter Jr. back. You got KCP now. And I'm just like, I can't see how the Nuggets got better and they not making the playoffs.
They got better, but we all know that time is kind of there as well. It's gonna take time for the Nuggets to gel, which is my thing.
Okay,
it's gonna take.
I'll buy some of that.
But the Clippers are coming. Teams that ain't the Pelicans are coming. You got teams that ain't been in the playoffs last year.
Pelicans, man, mess out of here. Pelicans.
Stop it. They took the Sun. They gave the Suns that work.
You know what I'm saying? Like I literally had to do a deep dive to why I had to make sure y'all go check out their podcast episode of why I don't have the Nuggets making the pot. Like it's literally dead.
Nuggets, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like the first 10, 15 games may hurt the Nuggets long term. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
No. See, now he got open.
Go ahead.
I'm about to make it hurt more.
Go ahead,
So you're telling me that, Tevin, that the Nuggets who have played together already, right? Besides KCP,
have they in the last 2 years?
Well, hold on. You're telling me, besides the addition of KCP, who's a bum, he's a trade piece, okay? He's a bum.
Okay.
They need time to gel together, right?
I think KCP helped the team, but we're taking him away, so okay.
No, I'm just saying he's the only person that's really being added.
Added to the team. Okay.
Right,
okay.
So they need to gel. What's up, fat fella? The fro. Hold on, look at little Jared Allen.
Special guest.
Little Jared
What
Allen.
up,
All right, go back upstairs. And they'll need time, but then, so you're saying then the Trailblazers don't need time and that they're going to make the playoffs? Because you have them in the playoffs over the Nuggets, and they're acquiring someone who I believe is much better than KCP, but they'll need time as well, or they're just going to figure it out on the floor?
I think once it boils down to it, I think that the Blazers will be a better team than the Nuggets when it's time to show it, and that'll be down the line. That's why I had the Blazers in the playoffs. They call me crazy, but Dame.
Yeah, it look crazy.
We forgot about Dame. We don't forgot about Dame.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like the Blazers do got a team waiting. They do. Definitely agree with you saying. You know what I'm saying? But is Junior gonna be around in the playoffs? How healthy is Jamal? They got a lot of ifs. They
also got a big Joker.
I don't like season of ifs. You said
they got a big Joker too.
All right.
I'm just, oh man, I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait for the season to start.
Big Joker only gets playing. You got to have some more space in your hand. You can't have no possibles. In this next year, you can't have no possibles. Now the following year, I'm not talking. Nuggets in the playoffs for sure, but just next season. This is not me disrespecting the Nuggets going forward. This is just next season. Going forward, of course, unless they mass moves, but just next season.
I tell you what, I'm going to pay a close attention. I know they only play twice a year, but Nuggets and Sixers, that's on my radar. I need to see. I need to see some deep.
I need to see Blazers and Nuggets.
The one thing that I will say, as far as like the Joker defensively, is I did see Anthony Davis give him that work in the bubble. Like it was a problem, but. I want to see Embiid and Joker, man. I got to see it because I think it's easy for them to make the playoffs, but for them to not make it. So by not make it, do you mean they losing twice in the play-in?
Also, real quick, because they'll bring it back. Consistency and chemistry is another thing. The reason Tyus Jones is what's needed for the Grizzlies. They lost their Tyus Jones. They lost Will Barton, who was chemistry. That matters. They got a backup point guard, but is he gonna do a good job like Monte Morris has been doing for the last few years? Because we still got a big ass question mark by Jamal Murray.
Man, I'm like, look, they got Joker, dog. They got 2-time MVP. I ain't worried about player 12 and 13. I got my top dog is there. He is there. He 27, 14 and 8. I'm good. I'm not worried about role player. LeBron ain't worried about freaking Austin Reeves. I got AD and Russell don't really matter, but I got AD and LeBron. I don't Austin. Pat Beverly. Look, I ain't worried about number 15 on down in the rock. No, get the Joker. But yeah, you had something else? I think you had something in the midst of our top 2 debate.
It wasn't. Let me think. I don't want to say it was in the midst of the top 2 debate. I actually was going to talk about a player that I didn't mention. And I want to give my why behind that. Both of you mentioned that it's in your top 10, respectfully, and that's DeAndre Ayton. I didn't name him as one of my top 10 players at center. The reason for that is because I believe that he has made whatever ascension he's made due to a ball handler there by the name of Christopher Paul. And if we watch all the production of players after Chris Paul leaves, you see their true value. DeAndre Jordan was an all-star, respectfully at Lob City. And once Chris Paul left,
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin. Yeah. See what I mean? Like he makes post players better than what they truly are. And DeAndre Ayton don't scare me. There was a reason why the Suns didn't want to sign him. And there's a reason why the Suns had to essentially max him out, but give him the same contract that the Pacers were willing to give him to go there. And so to me, I just don't believe Ayton is better than the players I've listed. I don't believe he's ready to be there yet. Does he have the talent potential? He's 7'1". He has a softer touch, but how often does that touch really go in the bank as well? And Savage, you alluded to the game 7, you're at home and playing what? 17 minutes?
17 minutes.
If even
five points.
5 points, 4 rebounds. And so if you're not showing up in those big moments, I don't need you to show up at any moments, to be honest. So that's why I did not put Ayton on my list of top 10 centers, nor was he an honorable mention.
Yeah, Ayton had, like I said, 0.7 blocks per game, bro. Like, you a center. Like, no. I need at least 1 per game. I go back. What did Miles Turner have? Miles Turner is like 6'10". They giving him 6'11", 7'1". Miles Turner, he averaged the past 4 years. This is in succession. So 2.8 blocks, 3.4 blocks, 2.1 blocks, 2.7 blocks, and still giving me 33% from 3. Like, you can't give me 1 block? 1? No, can't do it. No.
We need to be on a free Miles Turner campaign.
For real.
he wasn't the name I actually thought of, but y'all are absolutely right about him.
Yeah.
He could be in the top 10 if he was to go to another team, I think. But
yeah. Miles Turner doesn't score as much. I think that's just based on the offense that Rick Carlisle plays. But like, if you put him in the right like system, he can get you 15, 17 points a game, and he's not gonna rebound, but he's gonna score and block shots. Like, I'll take a Serge Ibaka all day long, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take it all day long. But in the comments, too, you did have Christian Wood at 4. I'm not mad at that. Because I literally, in my notes, it says take a drop in rebounding, but probably will make the All-Star team. Literally, that's in my notes. Because Luka gonna make the All-Star team for sure, and the Mavericks are gonna be a scary good team, and Christian Wood gonna be there residually to make an All-Star game. I feel like, because he's scoring, he been scoring everywhere: Detroit, Washington, New York, and now in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? All right. Any other comments, gentlemen, about anything? We good? All right.
Sorry for being an oddball.
No. You've been different forever. So continue.
Yeah. Remember who chose Kawhi over LeBron? Come on.
Wait, I went the only one with that one. Oh, you was that one. Yeah, that's you. Okay, cool.
So this ends our top 10 list. I feel like it's been a good series for us, getting some good conversation going leading into the NBA season. Again, we about 5 weeks away from the start of the season. Next episode, though, we are actually going to do a fantasy draft for young NBA players. We'll leave the details out for the next episode, but we're gonna focus on the young players who are on the rise for this upcoming season and to the future. So if you haven't locked in yet, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube at 3 the Hardaway. Click on notifications. If you're on a podcast platform, leave a 5-star review. Also notifications as well too, because Spotify does it, Apple Podcasts does it. And if you are on Twitter, we're at 3 the Hardaway Pod. We're also at TikTok a little bit, because I do a little TikTok at the same the same handle at 3 the Hardaway Pod. So stay safe, be blessed, peace.